the skincare market is can benefit in a recession, and also with all the online work. Look, it's our faces constantly.
Yes.
So when the lockdowns happened, shirt sales went up. It's on camera. Pants sales went down.
I'm here with Jake Rosenberg from Crete. Crete Club? Is it Crete? What's it?
They call it Crete. I like the club ending, similar to Dollar Shave Club. I knew we would end up doing subscriptions and kind of some sort of membership thing. It's not like a real membership. It's like if you're subscribing, you get discounts, and the more you buy, we reward you. So, guys like clubs.
Yeah, I like the boys club than a fight club and things like that. So you don't have a subscription model yet?
We do. I got the domain like 2 or 3 years ago, and we launched our subscriptions in January. But I knew we were going to go there, so I decided to name it that.
Okay. Did you launched it in January, or you're launching it in January?
We launched it in January. Well, we launched about 1.5 years ago, and then after 6 months, we said, we're selling well, but one thing we're seeing is that guys keep coming back every month or two. What we'd see is guys would buy 1 bottle, and then like 2 months later, they'd buy a 3-pack, which is like $100. And we're like, okay, this keeps happening. Clearly they like it. Clearly retention is not an issue. We didn't really have great emails up yet, so they were just loving it, running out and buying it, Googling us and buying it again. So we started, Crete, K-R-E-T-E.
Crete, K-R-E-T-E. That's a cool, and is that the website? What's the website?
Crete.club.
Crete.club. Okay.
Yeah, and like the island in Greece, but with a K, so we are not confused when you Google it.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to ask, like where you got the name from and why is that like relevant?
There's a story there. There were 2 kind of intersecting paths, and they perfectly met at Crete. The first one is I always just liked Greek sounding names. Nike is a cool, great brand. NYX Cosmetics, Kith is a cool sneaker brand. I liked it. The K's, the T's, the X's. They're punchy, they're easy to spell, they're 5-6 letters maximum. They come with a little cultural weight to it. They're masculine without being like war paint or like something that's like stupid. And so I thought women had foundation, guys should have concrete. So I was going to call the concealer concrete, and then concrete. I was like, oh, great. Then it also worked. It's like discreet because, we sell products that are like, not too flashy when they're on your skin, whatever. So it just fit every category, and nobody owned it. And we're like, well, that's just obviously what we're going to call it. And so, we can also call our fans Cretans, but we haven't really done that yet.
That's funny.
We'll get there soon enough.
That's you guys. So you put a lot of thought into it. With SHEATH, it doesn't have those hard syllables, but it is like kind of. I took it. Coming up with a name is a hard thing to do. Maybe people spend too much time on it, but after I came up with SHEATH, I was listening to another CEO of what was it? Not Xerox, but Kinko's, and he was saying like the strong syllables like Crete. It's very easy to say. It's easy to spell.
Crete. It's like it hits the right things. It just sounded easy. Once you know how to spell it or you see it, it's very easy to spell. Again, it's 5 letters, K-R-E-T-E. It was interesting because I've helped a couple of other brands get names. SHEATH is really nice because SHEATH is sleek and it's like smooth. It's SH is another good one.
Okay, well, because people are always like sheets, shield, sheaths, and then it's not as simple or as easy to interpret, I think, as Crete. So I kind of had some.
I did sword fighting for years, so maybe that's a word in my vocabulary that's normal. I also realized I just said I did sword fighting for years. I did kumdo, which is like Korean kendo.
Hell yeah. Very cool. It wasn't, so it's not like the sticky swords where you.
No, that's fencing, I think. Those guys would get destroyed. We used like real bamboo or wooden swords, and like when you get to a certain level, you have a real like actual swords. It was years ago, but it's still in there somewhere.
Well, it couldn't have been too long because you look fresh as a baby.
I'm 32.
Okay. That's I was joking. Because
I run a skincare company. I kind of have to look young, right?
Yeah, definitely. And started using skincare products as a man around my late 30s and I never really thought about it because I'm a man, and but you walk around, you looking kind of ashy or dry, but you can't really tell until you put some on.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And we do a lot of our selling through our before and afters. They're so dramatic because we want to be an entry-level brand for a lot of guys. Our tagline is 30-second skincare, and basically all of our products take 30 seconds to learn about and 30 seconds to use. There's no bullshit. There's no 17 products in a row stuck in the bathroom. There's nothing like that. And so we found that tagline worked because you'll actually use it. If we let you know it's easy and there's no real commitment, you'll actually use it. All we have to do is get it in your hands. This stuff is so amazing that the first time you put it on, you will feel tightening sensation. It's formulated to do this. It'll feel tightening, you'll feel smoother, and your skin will look better. Yeah. I'm not gonna say glowy or bright or any of the weird words the beauty industry. I even hate that it's called the beauty industry. We call it the
for men.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again with Sheath, somebody might call it a bra for your balls, and I'm like, we're not using that tagline. Because there's a feminine conjugate. It is kind of funny, but it's same reason. I don't like it because it's geared
I'm on the other
women.
side of the spectrum where I just don't care, and I think it's funny, and I would probably buy it because it's called that. But most of the population, people don't want to go, let's say, maybe 20% out of their comfort zone. So we have to make skincare seem like it's something you're already doing, because it is. You're already getting your hair cut, you're dressing well, you're washing your face in some capacity, even if it's with a bar of soap. You're using body wash, you're using shampoo. So instead of just rubbing a thing here that you didn't look at the ingredients up of and that you got at CVS, okay, well, this part that people actually look at, why don't you put something good on it that'll keep it looking younger?
Yeah.
Less red, more even toned, and just healthier. And it starts adding up. Aging, we have a new skin age quiz where we kind of take you take a simple quiz, 5, 6, 7 questions, and we tell you your general skin age, because some people look young for their age, some people look older. And if you smoke too much, drank too much, the sun is a really big one, and sleep is a big one. And so, one of the things we've managed to do is kind of contextualize Creed as will help you reduce and look a couple years younger. Instead of looking a couple years older, look a couple years younger. And, a 5-year swing in how you look can be pretty dramatic, especially if it takes a month or two to get there with a pretty simple product.
Yeah, and it can increase your confidence, you look better, you feel better. You might not want to talk to that girl or whatever, but now she might be looking at you.
Everyone knows when they get a new shirt or a new shoe, something, and they just put them on, and you just oh, I look great in this. Yep. And you just, for a day or two until it gets normalized, you feel like a king. You can do anything. You will go talk to that girl. You will be more confident. You just feel good. So we're trying to do that, but for your actual face instead of just something like a shirt, but your actual skin. So there's definitely, a mental health and confidence part of this. So I got started from a ski accident. There's a scar on my nose. So
yeah. Okay. Okay.
You can't see it because I did all the right things, and I have concealer on. Actually, I have our concealer on. We're launching concealer in probably February or March. We're waiting for the big shipment to come in. Yeah, we ordered it already. It's just we're waiting. But I had a ski accident, which is why I started Crete. So I had a scar on my nose. I had to wear this thing.
Oh my goodness!
I have this here. It's called a nose cone. It's a mountaineering thing. I had to wear this for a year when I walked outside. So I know about not being happy about something on your face, being embarrassed, getting questions, or just, not having confidence. You can't even see it. My nose was terrible.
No. Yeah.
So, hyaluronic acid serums, concealer.
The hyaluronic acid always, I have a wife and a daughter, and they're like, hyaluronic acid. I'm like, you're putting acid on your face?
Yeah, it sounds like some vat that the Joker fell into. It has an unfortunately complex and aggressive sounding name. It's actually the most hydrating and softest ingredient there is. It gels at higher molecular weights, and it smooths your skin. It's not like sulfuric acid. It does the exact opposite. Plus, your body actually makes it naturally. So it's not something that's this foreign thing. You're basically just getting this hydrating molecule into your system. Mm-hmm. It absorbs 500 to 1,000 times its molecular weight in water, so it gives you all that hydration.
Wow. Yeah. I'm 44, and I've been I actually get like microneedling and Botox and shit. I've had the stuff.
Yeah, I just did the masseter Botox because I worked too much, and so they were like, "That's not even cosmetic. That's just like I had like pit bull jaw like 2 weeks ago."
Oh, that's funny.
It
Well,
works, man.
yeah, but one of the products that they give you after like the microneedling, anyways. This is very manly. We're talking, but it's stuff that people should talk about now because it's a new age.
What is actually? Here's the thing. I'm a dude. I watch football every Sunday. I like whiskey. Whatever. I do the traditional things. I'm not a lumberjack. I'm not that. I'm like a regular person. I wash my face with a bar soap. I have no idea about makeup or like eyeliner or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, why can't we talk about microneedling? It's literally taking platelet-rich PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and like you take your blood, you centrifuge it so it's like concentrated good parts of it, and then you microneedle something, and then you look better. Like, what is actually feminine about that? Nothing. It's just only women have been doing it. Right. So there are things that are biologically or historically feminine. Like, for instance, like rouge on your face is about flushed cheeks. It's a signal about biological and reproductive health at like the base level. So there are actually some things that are masculine or feminine about skincare or cosmetics for specific products. But concealer is one that kind of blurs the line. It's like, well, I have a pimple here and I have a date. If I just do this and I cover it and my date goes better, I don't really see how that was anything other than you don't see a pimple.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah,
you're getting rid of blemishes. It's like
so a lot of these skincare tools, these, we call them like performance products for your skin. They'll be normalized within a year or two, maybe 5 years. Everyone will be using them. I mean, body wash 20 years ago was seen as only for women, and now that's like crazy because, of course, it's not for women. It's just only women have been buying it.
It's soap in a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of YouTubers who are, like into Real Men, Real Style. Alpha M is another guy that I've watched. Yeah. Aaron Marino. Are you familiar with Aaron Marino?
No, I know the Alpha dude. I've seen some of his videos. I think he works with like Tiege Hanley.
Tiege.
So it's funny because, they're going too far overboard. They're trying to be like, be so masculine, you don't even care. It's like my whole angle is, who's going to even know? You're washing your face with something better in your bathroom. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to apply a moisturizer that dries in 30 seconds that no one can see and your face just looks better. It's not going to like transform overnight. It's not going to like look weirdly colored and like makeup. Your skin will just look better. Like 10 years ago, people, everyone looked better, let's say 5 years ago. What if you just looked like yourself 5 years ago?
Exactly.
That's all we're trying to get you to, is looking a little younger, a little better, a little fresher.
The cool thing about these guys, though, is that they are promoting men's caring for the way you look, and with Sheath, we have a lot of competitors. Not a lot. There's about 5 other like ball pouch, underwear, and more are coming. They're like copying us, which that's starting to be a little bit annoying. But
yeah, well, it's a form of flattery too.
Yeah. That's flattery, but it's also legitimizing the product itself. So if it might have been taboo or something, kind of not taboo, but just like a little like I don't wear underwear. We get a lot of guys that are like too manly or too tough or something. But the more brands that come out with a similar product, it's like, and they're going to have no choice, and we're going to hopefully be the choice that they make. When the time comes.
I'll show you one right now. This is one we got today. I hope it works.
I see it. Men, be men, stop the BS. Beautiful.
Like literally, this is on our moisturizer product. It's like, what is not being a man? Men are supposed to have skin that hurts their face. Like they're supposed to have dry patches. That's disgusting. Like what? No, I get very dry skin. It's visible. Okay, so I just do nothing. And so my response to these guys, I usually like to be pretty snarky. I'm like, okay, well then stop getting a haircut and stop wearing shoes. And why are you driving a car? Like, why are you doing anything to like change your natural caveman self?
Yeah.
And do anything modern? Like, you get haircuts. Stop getting haircuts.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys. I think of baseball, like professional baseball players. They, you get your beard groomed. you just look cool. Don't you want to look cool, or do you want to look like shit?
Every hockey player has a, comb back, long. Look, here's the thing. Again, we're not going into the like makeup situation. That there are some actual literal scientific reasons why some of those things are male or female.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like grooming and being a neat, clean person with healthy skin. Like having a facial cleanser that doesn't hurt your skin instead of a bar of soap that can be rough. Okay, maybe if it smells like peaches and is in a pink bottle that's, and priced and sold at Sephora, okay, now you're starting to get like the marketing and branding towards women.
I am the only one that knows what Sephora is, and Ulta, I think. I'm just joking.
I know what those are because I tried to go there when I first had my scar and I needed products, and I was just like, this place sucks.
There's so many products, and it's so expensive. I know that much.
Fantastic places, and it's funny because when I go to conferences for skincare in the beauty industry, again, I like to call it the handsomeness industry because I think we're in a niche of it.
I like it, handsomeness.
It's like 70% women. They say, "Oh my God, you're a men's skincare. So what do you like? You're going to sell in Sephora, right?" I'm like, literally, I started this brand because I walked into Sephora and said, I don't know if I can curse. Can I curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
Okay, fuck this place. This place sucks.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Like there are 10,000 products. There's a men's section in the back with 2 things of cologne that smell like you're freshy. It's so bad. And I'm like, ew, what is this place? They're like, I need concealer. Which brand? I don't know. What's your tone? I don't know. Do you want sheer or thick coverage? Do you want matte finish? Do you want long? I don't know what you're saying. Beautify, contour, brighten. I know what these things are now because I know how to avoid them, so we don't include them. And I was like, how about you help me hide the thing on my face? Oh, how about this? And then before it, you'll have to use this, and then after you'll have to use. No. So I did that for month, 2 months, 3 months. Found the products I needed, trial and error, returning a million things back and forth because I was determined. I had a literal scar on my face I couldn't hide.
Necessity is the mother of invention, obviously. Yeah.
And so I just thought, if this was just easier. So our concealer comes in a click pen. It's very discreet. It's matte finish. It lasts for like 12 hours when you put it on. It hides everything. It's so easy to spread on. Because we basically took the best female brands, broke down their formulas, made them a little thicker, stronger, better, water resistant, sweat resistant, and put it in a click pen that's not like little fluffy weird things. And so, pair that with an app that finds your tone at home. So you don't have to go to a store. And we're going to launch that soon.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram you had like these little skin tone.
Yeah, that's what's coming. Yeah, so those are our concealer tones. We're going the range from, I say basically from like Scotland to Kenya. We're going to get
Scotland to
we
Kenya.
We literally took
I like it.
the whitest, brightest tones of every brand. We took them and bought them all. We made sure that we were as light toned as that. And then we did the opposite. So this dark tone. And so there's 2 things to consider. There's a regular tone of light to dark, and then there's undertones, which is kind of like peachy, which you call warm, to cool, which is yellower. So I'm pretty light toned and then with a yellower undertone. So undertones matter, especially in the lighter colors. So we have to cover a lot of those. But as a startup, I don't want to have 10 SKUs of a product that we have to launch yet. So
you
we actually specifically broke down the most popular tones in society and by customer base and what would cover the most people with the fewest tones. So, that comes back to my kind of economics and math background. So we figured that out, which was hard.
I want to say this because it was funny. We were just at this comedy festival called Skankfest, and my whole team went because we sponsored the event in Vegas last month, and we were sitting in the front row, me and my team, and this comedian comes out and he's like roasting all of my team. He wouldn't roast me because he I don't know. I was gonna say he knew who I was, but he's roasting my team, and he was like, "You two have the pigment of scallops," and everyone started laughing because it was kind of true, Sean and Katie. And so there's all different, there's from Kenya to Scotland. That's a great.
I like to be accurate. And so it's not just the melanin level, there's differences in the undertones, and it gets pretty complex. There's a lot of layered things. For instance, if you have higher melanin levels, some kinds of skin issues can actually lighten your skin, while if you have lower melanin levels, the same issues can darken your skin. So you might have red spots. If you have darker skin, it might cause white spots. So there's a lot of considerations, especially within the world of, as they call it, color cosmetics, which is everything from concealer to foundation, tinted moisturizer, and a million things. We're not trying to do any of that. We're trying to do concealer, which is like spot treatments for specific things. But even within that, the major problem is, one, no guy wants to be like, hey, I'm wearing concealer. The point is concealer. It conceals things. It's supposed to be hidden. We made something that is matte finish, very high coverage, but you literally cannot tell. I have it on.
Nice.
Like, I have it on in a bunch of places, and you would not know. I have a couple red spots on my face that were pretty terrible about, let's say, 20 minutes before I started this.
Hell yeah.
So that's the point. It's subtle. And then the second thing is the
simple
education and packaging and things like that around it, letting guys know that it's actually okay. Like, it's not this thing. Most guys have actually tried concealer, whether it was like during prom or a date or some point they had a girlfriend or their mom or something did it, and they saw it work, but they just never knew that they could buy it for themselves.
I could see it being very highly valuable. I don't really feel like I need to conceal anything.
No, you don't. But like, let's say you stop sleeping for a week. I don't know how much sleep you get. Dark circles and bags are a huge thing. Once you start getting those, they're really hard to get. It almost looks a little freaky to me when I do it to myself. They disappear, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, but I don't look like I.
How do you sleep? Let's talk about that for a moment.
I sleep pretty well, although my dreams are crazy recently. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're growing, we grew 30% last month. We're launching a second product. Just hired some people, raising some money. It's been great, but there's just, I have dreams about work. But I make sure to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep minimum every night.
How many times do you wake up, would you say, at all in the middle of the night?
Last week, once or twice every night. It's not my favorite. But
because I get up 3 or 4 or 5. I got up 8 times the other night, and but I do manage to get my 8 hours, and there's a cascading effect. It's like I haven't been exercising as recently because I've been working, and then my mind is racing because I've been working late. Those things, I'll wake up, I won't sleep as well. If I turned off for an hour or so before bed and worked out that day, for instance, we got new inventory. The other day I was just carrying boxes. Oh my God, I was gassed. I slept 8-9 hours like crazy. And when I say I slept 8-9 hours, I'm talking about midnight to 8:30, and then wake up and immediately start doing work. I've worked from home forever. So I wake up, I don't need caffeine, it's right to work, and I'm super I get a lot done. So what is your morning routine though, if you will?
A lot of people always talk about morning routines. I sit up, I look at my phone, I check emails for customer service stuff first, because we fulfill stuff around 9 to 9:30 a.m. So if I get up at 8, usually there's one person a day who's like, I didn't know I subscribed. It's like, dude, you've gotten 6 bottles in the subscription. What are you talking about? Please cancel this order. So I like to get to that before. And we have, thousands of subscribers, and it's one a day or something, or just a customer service email being like, hey, where's my thing? And I'm just like, please check your tracking.
I like it. And that's how I remember being. I'm 10 years into it. So, and now I can not check my phone. And actually, I did it this morning before I meditated. But I check sales. I don't check. We have a customer service team. But when I was first starting, you do everything. And
our customer service is so easy because we barely get any returns, and we don't really. Mostly, people are saying stuff like, hey, I love this. I've been subscribed for 3 months. I have a lot. How can I skip a month? And I'll just, have a thing in my notes, and I copy and paste it. Go to here. Here's the link. If it doesn't work, means you have to sign up first. And we already have it typed up. So it just pastes. It takes me about 10, 15 minutes. That warms my brain up. Then I walk into this room and I just start working. It's I don't eat breakfast. I eat, but maybe one thing I need to get better at is I have a jug of water now with me all the time. And so I take that in here and I drink water. So
I got my water.
Nice. I bought the half-gallon ones.
Oh yeah, I had one of those, and it's that's too much. So I got rid of that.
It's a big ass thing, but it lets me. The gallons are too big. But it's those small things like if you actually exercise even for 20, 30 minutes, then you sleep well. You wake up and I don't need caffeine, and if I'm hydrating, I'm fine. and I need to eat a light lunch so I don't have like an absolute crash. So I have it dialed in. I've worked from home. I've literally never actually been employed.
Cool.
My fourth business. So.
Oh shit, your
Yeah,
fourth.
I have 10 years of doing it myself. Actually, I had a tutoring company in high school and college. Company loosely.
That counts.
Tutoring a lot of people.
Hey,
so I've just always done my own thing. I've worked from home since 2012, so I kind of have my routine pretty dialed in, and it's kind of an anti-routine. It's just do work all the time, and then when you don't think the quality is there, just stop that second, try to enjoy the night, relax.
Right. Do you know who Gary Vee is?
Definitely.
Yeah, he's just like fucking work, hustle, and stay busy.
Yeah.
You know.
I think he promotes a little too much busyness and not as much execution. It's always like, are you making an NFT? You know, I was like, what? And then he's like, they make NFTs. Like, okay. And like, I've met him. He's a nice guy and he's very successful. His thing is constant up energy, whatever. My thing is always behind the scenes. Get big things like executed and done, and then you can stand on top of that to get the next thing. So
yeah, everyone, like, people are so quick. I'm sorry, like, ideas. I have all these people with, you know, it's like, oh, I have this idea to make your business better. And I mean, I have 1,000 ideas a day. It's about execution.
It is 100%. Look, and okay, you know, if we make our emails a little bit better, but we actually execute, we will see that return immediately. If I think of, oh my God, if we do this overarching thing and it's going to take 3 months, and okay, in 3 months we'll see a result. So you want to do both. You have to do both kinds of things. But you know, it really is like trying to get to the top of a skyscraper step by step, and you will get there. Yeah, but unlike he's the one with the boulder, right?
Yeah,
we both did the same thing. Nice. Unlike that, in this case, the boulder doesn't like roll down at the end.
Yeah,
you actually can get it to the mountaintop, wherever that may be for any individual entrepreneur. You know?
Yeah, but it never. But like the reason it's kind of also you never really get to the top. It's because it's all in your mind in the sense because, you know, I remember we were making, you know, $250 a day, then $3,000 a day, and then like $10,000 a day or whatever, and then it's always more.
Yeah, the numbers, we've started making enough revenue per day where these dream numbers are now like our bad days. And when that happened, when the $1,000 a day mark, which we were trying to break, the 950, 960, 930, a couple days, then all of a sudden it was our daily average was 1,200. It was like 1,000 was actually bad. The next month after, and it was like,
that's hilarious.
Oh man. So yeah, these numbers, they're just numbers.
Yeah,
and so for me, the metrics are a couple of things. It's overall number and then profitability. And that's it. We're not trying to spend
profit is huge
to make $500,000.
We're spending our advertising expense, and I wanted to kind of like not compare, but compare notes because we're both entrepreneurs and I'm still learning. I've been in it 10 years, but you know, you're young and fresh, and it's like I'm reading this book by Steve Jobs, the autobiography of Steve Jobs, and you know, like there's just profit, and then there's gaining market share, and like the durability of the long term, and we're like all of our profit, quote unquote, whatever revenue just goes back into.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the same thing with us. Like if we shut down, if I fired everyone tomorrow and we didn't run a single ad, our subscriber base is large enough where we would make a lot of money next month, and then probably 90% of that the next month, and whatever. We would for 12 to 15 months, I could just collect money. But instead of that, we're trying to double our budget in the next 3 months and grow like crazy, so that if we cut it off in 3 months, it would be double what it, you know. I view it in the same way I kind of view fantasy football players. So I don't know, you're a fantasy football guy.
I've played.
Yeah, so, you know, there's high ceiling and high floor players. Like a running back is going to get a certain amount of touches. If they're big, you know, if they're the number one running back on a solid running team, they're going to get, let's say, at least 10 points because they're going to get opportunities for touchdowns and they're just going to be handed the ball. Whereas a wide receiver, they might have a high ceiling, but they could also get no catches and no yards, so they have a very low floor. So I kind of look at everything with floors and ceilings. The subscriber method for us means that every single month, if our ads do really shitty this month, the subscribers we already have, they are a floor. They are a base amount of revenue that we will get, and that is profitable.
How do you
allows us to have the ceiling of, okay, well, let's try this crazy marketing thing. Let's work with this influencer. Let's redo our emails.
Influencers, okay.
Let's go on podcasts, whatever it is.
Yes.
Those are all trying to raise the ceiling, and then that can bring up the floor too. But the subscribers we get, they just set this floor. There are every down running back.
What do you use for your subscription model? I mean,
we do the first order is, so the bottle of this stuff is $39, and then it lasts a month to 2 months. It's phenomenal. It's like basically the only product you would need for moisturizer.
Okay.
So you need 1 or 2 pumps. It's amazing. So it has apple stem cell extract from Switzerland. It's just got the absolute best stuff. So it's actually kind of a steal. But even with that, I don't know how you can trust a brand you see on Instagram or Facebook. It's like ridiculous. I'm a consumer. I see a million ads. So what we wanted to do is we said, okay, get your first bottle for $6 and we give free shipping.
There you go.
Okay, so people try it and they go,
yes.
Oh, I love this.
You got to get people to try it. You got to get it in their hands.
And then the next month it's 22% off, so it's like $30, not $39. And then they stay on. We like
ease them into it.
Yeah, we have like 10% churn rate, and it's shrinking every month. Like
10% churn rate. What does that mean? Like people?
That's the number of people you lose over the overall amount. So basically, like month 1 is 1,000 people. You would keep 900 of them in month 2. But also we would add new subscribers, so we grow pretty well. But with our retention is crazy. We don't even have to do much. We don't even have emails after like the first 3 weeks, and we're like, we don't want to tell you anything. You're using it.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The only issue with that model is cash flow. If it costs us, let's say $30 or $35 or whatever it costs us to acquire a customer, I know the number. I'm just keeping it big.
Ours is right.
It costs us $30, and to fulfill it and whatever is, let's say $6. It's we spend 30 to get you. We make 6 from you. It costs us 6. I'm just doing that. So now we're down 30 to acquire, but the next month is 30. So now we've broken even. So on month 2, we've broken even. Month 3 is pure profit. I guess
they maybe tell their friends and stuff. And it's like the lifetime value, though.
The only thing, the lifetime value is giant. It's just, you have to be able to front a month or 2, which is why I was funding it for a couple of years, why we just raised a little money. It's because if you want to, go from 1,000 subscribers to 10,000. Well, you have to front that up, that 2 months of not great cash flow before your other things pay off. So
totally,
it's pretty simple math. It's just,
But what platform? Okay, so what platform do you use?
We're on Shopify.
Okay, we're on Shopify.
The app we use is called Bold. There's also Recharge. Coming from a software background, I had a software company for years. It's kind of frustrating because we want to do more custom things that Shopify just won't let us do.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we're not going to build any of the infrastructure Shopify want. Like, we don't want to fight chargebacks. We don't want to make discount codes work. We don't want to take and handle, credit cards and all that thing. Shopify has so many little things that this takes care of.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. We use Shopify.
We want to do crazy kinds of subscriptions, like sunset subscriptions, where let's say it's $30 month 2, maybe it's 27 month 3, and then 24 month 4, and it goes down, and maybe it ends up at like $15. So we're still making some money.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you cancel, you have something to lose, aka usually. And also, it gets cheaper, so you want that cheaper bottle. So then all of a sudden, maybe you're on a subscription for, let's say, $20 a month instead of $30. You can't cancel it, or you lose that huge discount. And we basically just keep you on every month for 2 years. Shopify won't let us do that. We can't.
Yeah. And we're on Shopify Plus, and it's still very limited. And we just we just hired this company, Assemble, to rebuild like this headless website where it's instant. It preloads all of your pages once they come to your website, so that when you click to the product, it's instant.
Yeah, lightning fast load times. Yeah.
It's I don't know if
we do a lot of those kinds of speed tests and loading time tests.
Yeah.
It's I forgot what it was. I think it was a study about Amazon or something. It was about some e-commerce site that was like, for every 10th of a second that the load time, they lost like 1 or 2. I'm making up the numbers. For every very small amount of load time, people are just like, fuck it.
Yeah, they're off the toilet or whatever.
It was like
That's
It
horrible.
was like fractions of a second were whole percents or something of people leaving.
That's how they sold me on this thing, and I'm going to tell you, our sales have not gone up, and we spent a hundo on this
Yeah,
new
wow.
website.
Well, your sales might have not gone up, but it also might have
Mine,
prevented sales from going down.
yeah.
So
Are you?
I'm not saying it did. I'm just
No, no,
saying.
no, 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 no. I love it. I like your positive attitude. We've doubled every
If it was
year.
me, I wouldn't have been happy.
We're keeping it. It's only been a few months now, and I can't tell whether it's gone up or down. With the economy the way it is, and inflation, and people not having the expendable cash that they had last year or the year before, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, it's interesting because with inflation and, either we're in a recession if you go by the classic economic definition, which I do because I studied economics, or if you go by whatever people are trying to tell you is happening right now. If we're going to be in a recession in 6 months, whatever the thing is that we're in now,
Tell me.
your behavior is going to change. Something I keep reading every day that every month, like 8% of real estate agents quit because something like 70% of them haven't sold a house in like 12 months.
Wow.
People don't have disposable income for giant things anymore.
Right.
Mortgage rates and other things and interest rates are crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So what people do is they tend to go down one or two price levels or price categories. They still want to splurge. They still want to buy stuff. We're a very materialistic world. I have too many clothes. I don't know why I'm still buying clothes.
Right.
I can wear this sweatshirt every day for the rest of the time and I'd be fine. And I will still buy more stuff.
100%.
So what someone does is maybe instead of getting a watch or an expensive suit for $1,000, $2,000, they'll go down to a category like skincare, and then they'll get the nicest skincare, which is where we are. Right. So skincare sales have actually been up recently.
Nice. That's Crete.club, by the way.
Yeah, well, not even our sales are going through the roof. But I'm just talking about as a general category, both male and female. Because people they still want to splurge. So something for $39 that seems really cool and expensive and fancy within its own category that's going to work.
The underwear market, we did some research. It's down 30%. So you're saying the skincare market is up?
The skincare market can benefit in a recession, and also with all the online work. Look, it's our faces constantly.
Yes.
So when the lockdowns happened, shirt sales went up. It's on camera. Pants sales went down.
Belts. I know a company that sells it's Anson belts, and they went down like 20%, but now they're back, and it's all fluctuating, and because people are back to work also.
Yeah, but it was very specifically businesses that were in this box here did really well during the lockdowns. That or like the days. Pants sales, shoe sales, belt sales went really far down. Shirt sales went up. People were on meetings every day, and they didn't want to wear the same shirt, so they bought more shirts.
Well, people were walking around at home in their underwear, and our sales fucking were booming.
Look, I gotta be honest. I'm wearing sweatpants right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing Crocs and some Lululemon pants, but nice. Yeah, I love you gotta like good quality shit. You can't you don't want cheap stuff. You might be want to not pay that much, but I'm willing to pay a little bit more for like the better product,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's quality matter. Now, there's a lot of bullshit out there, and as someone who had a shoe company, it is very funny to me when my girlfriend will say stuff like, "Oh, this purse is made of better leather," and I'm just like, you don't know what you're saying. It's like, I have bought the most expensive leather, and it's like giant, huge things are like, no, 20, 30 bucks. It's like not that much. The difference between the most expensive, I don't remember the exact price, but the point is the difference between the most expensive amount of leather that can make 30 purses versus the cheapest leather that can make the same 30 purses was like $100 difference.
Wow.
It's, the stitching, it's made on a machine. It's not so it's the branding, people buying the branding, and like, I get it. Brands are nice, make you feel good, but
yeah, Levi's.
It's funny to see behind the curtain, and that's partially why I made Crete too. It's like there is an actual difference in this product because this is actually chemistry. This actually matters. It's not just a bag you put your phone in. You literally put it on your face. It's supposed to do something.
Totally. Yeah, this is the most important thing you got going on.
Moneymaker. That's
take care of it. What'd you say?
Moneymaker.
Yeah, it is. Got to take care of this, and it opens doors. There's something, there's like privileges, they say, but being attractive or more attractive can help you kind of ease your way through life.
Yeah, it's called the halo effect. Is I guess one embodiment of it. If you're really good at chess, people are going to think you're smart. If you're smart, people are going to think you're this. And if you're good looking, people are giving credit for things.
They're going to trust you. They trust you more for
something. There are
something.
definitely privileges that are given to you if you can excel in one thing. And attractiveness is a thing people can excel at.
Yeah.
You can improve. You know what? I think I'm not in as good shape as I've been in. I'm probably in decent shape, but I think I can always improve. I can get a better haircut. I can do this. You can change yourself. You can improve yourself. And so, there are some movements that are like, just you're good the way you are. I'm like, yeah, okay, but as the best version of yourself.
That means you're not trying to get better, though. I mean, you're just like stopping where you're at. I'm always like, I'm not good enough in every category.
If you're trying really hard and you're doing well and you're like, you're bettering yourself, then you can be happy about that. If you're just like, nah, what the hell's the point of anything? It's like, I had terrible scar. Should I still have a huge scar on my nose? It's a lot better for my life that I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if it makes you happy, and if you can be happy waltzing through life without a care in the world, and like you can do no wrong, and you're perfect. I know. I almost envy those people. It's like,
almost.
Yeah, exactly. But like Joe Rogan, one of the people I've listened to over the years. I kind of tapered off because he drops so many podcasts and stuff. But he's always striving to be better, and he's the worst critic of himself. And I can identify with that because I'm always trying to get better.
One of the reasons I think we've been successful is because I don't let people, I let people have egos in appropriate settings. Have an ego when you do something great, but it has to actually be great. Like if I come up with a terrible idea, fucking tell me, man. Like I don't want it because I'm the boss, I'm the CEO. Like I don't want just my terrible, like my team. It can be savage to me if I say something stupid. They'll just be like, dude, that is my developer, especially. He's like a Marine Reserve guy. He's just like, that idea doesn't make sense, and we're not going to do that because it's terrible. I'm like, why is it terrible? And he'll explain it. Go, okay, yeah, I didn't know those things. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And then the next day we'll do something great, and so it's not just the implementation of good ideas. It's also the avoidance of bad or mediocre ideas. And so you have to have an ego about winning. But that winning has to come from results, higher sales, better margins, better products. It can't come from like who the idea came from or whatever.
Totally. Yeah. Anybody that has the ego, like that they had the idea and they're the greatest. I'll give credit where credit is due. If one of my team members come up with something smart, it's like, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I'm very grateful for my team.
Yeah, I'm almost a little too much about it sometimes. I'm like, I've had team members be like, yeah, you've mentioned 3 weeks in a row that thing I came up with. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, dude, it was really great. I just like good surprises. Being an entrepreneur is a constant shitstorm of like problems you're putting out.
Totally.
And you also have to recognize the problems and then you have to figure out the solution, oftentimes with very little to no experience in it. Our emails are shitty. Okay, why? Oh, we don't have a dedicated domain, so it's getting tagged in black. Like, what? Okay, I need to now Google shit for the next 3 hours and become an email expert. Well, now we've hired someone, obviously, but it's stuff like that. So, you need a good team and you need people around you who can be excellent in things, but also make mistakes. And so it's kind of a balance of that. And so ego can get in the way. And I've seen a lot of really smart entrepreneurs with great ideas just not accept feedback. Like, crashes them.
The Steve Jobs book is crazy. He would like tell his employees like, this is shit, this is a horrible idea, and then 2 weeks later he'd be like, I came up with this amazing idea, and then he would act like he came up with it. But he's so dynamic in like because he was, obviously I'm holding an iPhone, and even Samsung phones are based off of this computer in your hand, and so he was revolutionary, but he was like a super asshole.
He was one of the only people I can think of. Well, not really. He's at a level where his stuff was so revolutionary and so fast moving. I mean, within a couple of years, they're making like hundreds of millions of dollars, and they were selling computers when almost nobody else was. Maybe IBM was. And Microsoft.
Yeah. No, that's who he was going up against, is IBM.
So yeah, he hit a level of success fast enough where he could get away with that. There's no way on earth most of us, even successful entrepreneurs, can get away with that. We would have to quit. He's Steve Jobs. He owned Apple, and Apple was the company revolutionizing the world, and he was trying to do things that were orders of magnitude crazier and more revolutionary than.
He had this amazing phrase though, like, and he would motivate his people, and he was like, "We're gonna make a dent in the universe."
Yeah.
And I love. I mean, it's I'm like, it's like this thick ass book. I highly recommend.
It was like the warping of reality around him.
Oh, reality distortion.
Yes,
field.
reality distortion field around him. So
yeah,
he probably had a presence and a gravity around him. And then he also kind of, cult of personality and things like that. And then you can't argue with the results. I mean, they did and kicked him out, and then they, acquired Next or whatever. Or something.
Right. Did you read the book, or you just know
I believe I read the book. I also I know a lot about him, and I've researched a lot about a variety of entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Like
who are some entrepreneurs? Who'd you say? Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel
is if he does something, I'm like, that's probably going to work out.
Yeah, I like him too.
Just everything from PayPal and what that became to Palantir, first institutional money in Facebook. Like, the guy just sees stuff before the rest of us.
The Midas touch.
He also had $5 billion, I think, in a Roth IRA, which is hilarious because don't they have caps on how much you can put in a year? So obviously he bought like Palantir stock or other things with it, and it just became so much.
You say $5 billion?
$5 billion, I think that was a year ago. Like, you can't, they let you put what, 20,000? I'm making up a number for like 16,000 in a year.
I don't know.
You can't end up with $5 billion in that. Like, that's impossible, but he did it. So he's one of the guys. Palantir is a crazy company.
I've never heard of that.
Palantir is like I don't want to misrepresent it, but it went public, I don't know, like maybe a year or so ago. It is like the data arm of intelligence agencies. So if you're tracking a house and watching like drug dealers and criminals walk in and things like that, it tracks people, how many times like the windows open, the doors open, and like people who walk in and then them on the street, and then like analyzes their patterns. That's one person I knew who showed me a demo of it.
Okay.
And so basically you set up like a shitty CCTV camera and you hook it up to Palantir, and it'll be like after a day, it's like, yeah, these are the three people. Here's their whatever in the operation. It's like a stakeout, but digitized. And so they do that for everything, military applications. I'm sure there's like crazy secret stuff they're doing with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's someone has to build the tech for the intelligence services, and it's Peter Thiel.
Yeah, somebody has to provide them with what they want.
You think about the scary shit they can do,
Yeah,
I'm getting paid a lot because government contracts are big.
Yeah, and I'm a veteran, and we're trying to. Did you have any? You didn't have any military.
I'm not, but I like to hire veterans when possible. Our biggest, model who represents the brand, he was a Vietnam veteran actually, and our developer is active Marine Reserves, and he's trying to become a sniper in the Marines.
Okay,
he's a crazy dude.
So you use like manly, tough guys, badass motherfuckers, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point. Is like,
I like it.
This stuff is for normal dudes. It's not beautifying. It's not anything. It's like you have skin. Like if you had a heart problem, you take heart medicine. If you had fingernails that were too long, you'd cut them. Like it's not that crazy of a thing to be like, I have dry skin, signs of aging, wrinkles, redness. So
I have this fucking line on my
plump, and I do this. This could help soften that. I'm not kidding. It might take a month or so.
I was just thinking about that because last night I was like, Jesus, looks like I got cut with a knife.
I don't know. Mine are coming in. I got one that's coming in.
Okay, I see. I guess. Okay, I see it.
I do this. You can't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Let me lean my head back.
Soft lighting in here, I guess.
What is it called?
Soft lighting in here, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about, your influencers and how you market your product. Can you elaborate more on that?
Sure. One of the things that I'm a very reasonable person, at least I like to think I am, girlfriend might, in arguments we might differ, whatever. But I like to approach things and usually say, like, find issues with them, and then if I can't, let's go. So when I look at other people's ads, I try to find the issues with them. And so then we basically tried to model ours in a way that wouldn't have issues. One of the things I hate about all these other brands, they use like these stunning, like chiseled Greek god-looking dudes, and it's like I'm never going to look like that. So it's already a differentiation, right? They have packaging that's over the top. They have all these messages that it's like ridiculous. So what I like to do is we like to use what I call aspirational but approachable models. You know, people who look good, but they're realistic. They're like real people. And I'm not the first to invent that. I just think I kind of coined the phrase aspirational but approachable. I was like, well, use a guy who's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 because he has nice skin. But if he didn't have nice skin, he'd be a 5 or a 6. He wouldn't look that great, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a haircut and some skincare, and he goes up 2 points to being like, you know, decent looking. But he's not gonna get with any Victoria's Secret models because nobody is.
Right.
We like to be reasonable. We like to use real people. We do use real people. That's another thing. So the authenticity is there. And then, you know, our branding is 30-second skincare. So if that doesn't tell you everything, it should.
Right.
You're never going to come to our site and be like, what the hell does this company do? You're never going to open it, like have a product and be like, what does this do? Or how do I use it? Every single thing. Directions are like, pump it on your hands, put it on your face. Like, stuff like that. It's not rocket science. So that's kind of how we do it. Is it's not a dumbing down. It's because people accuse us of that sometimes. It's like, no, it's an oversimplification to the point where like we kind of call it caveman language. It's like 2 pumps, rub on face. Like if you can explain it like that, we're doing it because we're constantly bombarded. We're oversaturated with information. I mean, you'll be watching like TikToks or Instagram or Facebook while you're watching a football game, while your fantasy football thing is happening, while someone's texting you and you're on a Zoom working. You know, it's like, what if we don't tell you our message in 4 seconds and have you understand it, we're lost. So
you lost them. Yeah, that's funny.
So it's just a couple of principles about simplicity, speaking to guys and their sensibilities, and then having the visual, you know, be reasonable. It's like, I want to look like that guy, and I can. That's a huge part of it.
Is there a fantasy UFC league?
Oh, I don't know. I can't watch fighting. I did a lot of martial arts, and so I used to fight a lot. And so when I watch UFC, it kind of reminds me of getting kicked in the face, and it
can be brutal. Sometimes the ref needs to stop.
Yeah, I feel the pain. Yeah. I mean, I used to compete in fighting, and so I don't want to watch it.
That's badass. That's cool though.
Watch it anymore.
Yeah. That's my little. There's a huge UFC card this weekend, and that's my guilty pleasure, I guess. I do follow that.
I mean, I watch football. It's not like I don't watch violent stuff.
No,
but it's a little too gladiator-esque. And yeah, when a guy gets his arm broken, I'm just like, I feel it.
If you watch bare knuckle BKFC, bare knuckle fighting, that shit is brutal. And so, I mean, at least the UFC is a little bit more humane, but sometimes I'm like, stop the fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, dude. Or
please.
These guys, it's the chokeouts, and I'm watching brain damage. I'm watching this guy have like irreparable harm done to his body, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
What's your football team?
Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, nice.
Dad's from Philly. Went to college in Philly.
Do you know who Shane Gillis is?
Yeah.
Shane Gillis, the comedian.
Yeah.
He calls it. He's like the birds. We're watching the birds.
Oh yeah, people go birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. I love the Eagles. I'm from New York originally, and
okay.
I would hate them. I'm a Mets, Eagles, and 76ers fan, which is like a weird combo because usually those fan bases hate each other.
I like I used to watch basketball and like Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley. Yeah. I think Charles Barkley was in.
He was a Sixer for a while. Yeah.
And the doctor.
Dr. J.
Yeah, those are the three people I know. But
those are like the three guys. Maybe Moses Malone and very early Wilt Chamberlain. But that's not going back to like the 60s. But recently, they're supposed to be good this year, and they stink. So
I don't know. Yeah, I quit. There's so much content.
By the way, if you want to talk about, guys like everyone on ESPN, everyone on SportsCenter, every athlete in their press conferences, every actor you've ever liked in any movie, Rocky, Rambo, it doesn't matter. They are all wearing makeup. We're not even selling makeup. We're selling a degree below that. These guys all take care of themselves. They have to. They're public facing, and they want to look good. It doesn't make sense to get paid $40 million a year and then have dry skin patches.
Yeah,
So,
you see these people online and you think like, this is insane, but they're helping themselves. So you can help yourself.
yeah, it's like you don't have to do whatever Tom Brady does to be like a crazy, eating avocado whatever every day and doing all his crazy TB12 regimens. This is literally 2 pumps, do this, and you are done for the day. It takes less.
Oh, okay. So is there like an AM and PM or?
Some people use it twice a day. I try to. Look, I'll be honest, I sometimes forget to use it because, again, I'm a normal dude, right?
Yeah.
I forget. But then I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, and I go do it in the middle of the day. I don't have a pattern. We actually trademarked the phrase anti-regimen. We're not trying to have you like be a slave to this. It's here for you. It's a tool for you. You brush your teeth twice a day. If it's right next to that, okay.
You might, yeah, exactly. And I mean, when you get to be 40 plus, it's like if you don't put shit on your, put this
stuff on your face. If you start at my age, it will have a dramatic effect on slowing. Wow.
Slurring.
It is lowering and slowing, so slowing.
I like it.
Ooh, I might write that down, slowing. I'm going to go with it. I'm slowing a lot of skin issues. I hit 30 and all of a sudden things start hurting. Like the wrist hurts, my lower back started. It's like, what? Like the day I turned 30, I'm 32 now. I'm assuming at 40, a couple other things, some gray hairs, things start happening. If you get to them earlier, they're easier to deal with. Having said that, a lot of our customers are older guys. They are. Yeah. And they report to us that like their wrinkles and fine lines got softened. They have like redness they've had for 20 years is like 50% gone after a couple of weeks of once a day. And so it's like, okay, well, that's pretty inexpensive. If 2 weeks is, let's say, half a bottle. So $20 to like have an issue you've been struggling with for 20 years, get 50% better. It's like, okay, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. You want to age gracefully. I mean, and you expect your wife to continue looking good, and take care of herself, and you should take care of yourself. Don't be selfish. Point.
Yeah. What behavior do you want in somebody else? Do that thing for them,
Exactly. Yeah. So this, Crete.club, this is Jake Rosenberg, the CEO. You are like this. I like talking to CEOs, of companies. So I appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah, of course. I'm CEO, head formulator, all the weird, chief of answering customer service emails.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I actually don't know if I'll ever pass that part off, just to kind of end quickly, because talking to customers will really let you know what your customers are thinking, good or bad. Some of them one of them sent a letter in to cancel his subscription, mailed it, and I was like, this guy is nuts. So I wanted to send a letter back, and I was like, nah, I called him, and I was like, hey, whatever. It turns out that it was just he was coming too frequently, and I told him about the pause feature. And obviously, he's old school. He's writing letters to a brand. And so now he paused it for a month. I skipped it for a month, and now he's back on. It's like, oh, okay. All you have to do is understand what their needs are, and they'll tell you what they want.
That's one of the things. My favorite lessons I learned from Gary Vee was like doing something that would wow. That's a remarkable story. Like he wrote you a letter. That's pretty cool. We had a guy request us to send him ketchup, and he lives in Europe, and he couldn't get it. Was
like American, like our weird sugary ketchup.
It was Sir Kensington. I remember it because it was this weird brand, and actually because he wanted it so much, I bought some and tried it. It has like horseradish in it. It's pretty good. I like it, but it was Gary Vee who he said. He sent some dude a jersey, like a signed Brett Favre jersey, because he knew he was a super Brett Favre fan. And then he knew that for the rest of his life, maybe, or for at least a time, that guy would talk about this company that sent him this jersey that he really wanted. And I mean, I guess it's not quite the same thing, but you called him and you took like a personal. You took your time out to call it, like the CEO calls the dude. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's, you know what? It was worth my time. for a couple of reasons. One, the learning experience.
Yeah.
Two, it just matters. That guy is going to be like, this guy from the company called me. He was an American person who understood my things. It wasn't just some like phone bank in India or Bangladesh because it's cheaper labor over there.
Right.
This guy wanted to, like, I wrote a letter and he wanted to know, and the day it arrived, he called me. And then he actually solved my issues. So that's the first, and then the ending is the economics made sense. It was like a 5-minute call. This guy, if I check right now, he's probably been back on for 3 more bottles, which is $90, which is probably something like 75, whatever, huge amount of like profit. So 5 minutes for $90 worth of sales. It's like,
yeah,
that works.
The lifetime.
My hourly rate is that would be $1,080, I think, is the math per hour. So it's like, I think I'm okay with a $1,000 hourly rate.
No, yeah, and so when do you stop your day? You know,
that question doesn't exist for me. I have a decent work-life balance, but it's time to push it for us. There is no end. Last night was 2 a.m. and woke up right into it. It was when I stopped being able to complete tasks effectively for the time. At about 1 or 2 a.m., I said, you know what? I could push a little more, but I'll get terrible sleep and tomorrow will be shitty.
Exactly.
Wake up and did it. So right now, I'm not doing a whole lot but working. So if I wake up earlier and do it, it's fine. But I also benefit from it directly, and it's holidays, and we're leveling up. Everything in the company is leveling up. We're about to hire 1 or 2 more people to manage influencers, email, things of that nature.
That's what I do. I manage all the influencers, and it's gotten out of control. I have all these people texting me all the time.
I'm not trying to, chase down 23-year-old TikTokers with 25,000 followers for a single post. It's like, no, we're gonna pay someone a couple grand to do all that work, and I'm gonna get that time back.
I don't trust people to make the right decisions. It's hard to make a right decision on the cost for these influencers, which is astronomical. And
we're starting with micro and nano influencers, so it's going to be. Yeah. We're starting with people. We're working with a company, one of 2 companies actually. I interviewed today. They are going to get us to influencers who are like micro and nano, they call it. So it's like sub 50,000 followers. So it's usually at least the 2% engagement, which is normal people get 1%. So that means, twice as high as a normal person.
Okay.
These people will work for product. So basically what they get is they essentially say like, okay, I like Crete. I'll get free Crete. Great. Like, okay. And so they do a piece of content, and through that we get, it's still consideration because it has a value. And so we get the rights to use their content. So it outsources content creation. Yes. It tests the market for, let's say it's a girl telling, an attractive girl telling guys, hey, I'll be more into you. We haven't done that yet. If I wanted to
that's the move.
Have to record someone, I'd have to pay thousands of dollars in ad spend on Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms. No, this girl gets a bottle of serum and she'll do it. Great. And then we get the content.
She's like, my boyfriend uses it. He loves it. And he looks great.
A little secret that kind of closes the loop. So we give this, let's say this girl, right? Influencer A. We give influencer A a bottle of serum. She posts something and we get the rights to do it. Then we can, and let's say it goes well. She sells a couple of bottles, or she just gets really good engagement because on her post there's not a call to action. It's just a post.
Right.
There's no link to it. Maybe a link in her bio, but it's not right there like there is on ads. Mm-hmm. Well, let's say she gets a lot of love for it in the more likes, comments, whatever. Oh, that's amazing. She normally gets 20 comments and she gets 50 on this one. We can say, okay, we're going to take your video. We're going to run it as an ad through your account, white labeling. They just launched this on TikTok. So we're going to get to your audience and lookalike audiences for the people who actively engage. And now there's that click. So the ad is made for you because it's her video going to her fans and lookalike audiences of that. So we paid her. So she wins because she ends up getting some of the ad spend because it's coming through her account. So she'll get paid money after she proves to us that it works with the engagement. But we tested the engagement for a bottle that cost us a couple bucks to make. So the only way that it starts getting expensive is if you do that at huge scale.
Exactly.
You want the actual coordination of it gets expensive. So we're just outsourcing that. And we found a couple places that are not that expensive. And so, that's the little marketing secret. That's Q1 for us is try to do that as big and fast as possible. And
that's smart.
100 people with 50,000 followers. Yeah.
100 people with 50,000 followers. That's what, 5?
Yeah, but about 5 million. So instead of paying a shitload of money to one person or 2 people that total that, it's like work with 100, have someone else outsource the coordination. And if 3 or 4 of them hit, great, we have new audiences, we have new messaging. Maybe they came up with some new interesting way to sell Crete that's about acne or tattoos or God knows what. So, you know.
Yeah, it's all numbers for sure.
Numbers. It's creative numbers, yeah.
Because, but then also we have some people who have less numbers but higher engagement. So there is that. And some people can buy numbers, and so there is that also. So it's all like trial and error. You'll figure it out as you go along, I'm sure, and you have a lot of experience as it is already. But the reason we do the podcast is for hopefully people to watch it and kind of learn, because I want to share what I've learned along the way so that other people can do it.
I'll tell you this, knowledge out there is it should be free. I taught myself chemistry from YouTube and Google. I paid $0. I don't have a chemistry background. I have like math, econ, maybe I did chemistry club in high school, but like I didn't study chemistry. I learned it because of free resources online.
Oh yeah.
Technically, I did a Patreon that was $1 a month for this one chemistry girl, but that's not $200,000 for a college degree. The internet was very generous to me. I had to have diligence and I had to do the research, and the dedication to learning it. But it's out there, and it's only out there because people made it out there for me for free. So I share as much as I can, because good luck executing on it if you don't have the drive. And what, my competitors are going to hear this? They already know what I just said.
Right.
Like they're successful skincare companies. They're not influencers and you white lip. Like they have a TikTok expert who knows that they can do that.
Dude,
but for the average person like me, who when I was starting needed those kinds of things, it's like you hear that, okay, well now maybe you try that yourself, or maybe you know who you need to go hire, or something like that.
Crete.club, people. We got Jake Rosenberg. He told you straight from the horse's mouth what it's all about. Give it a shot. I'm going to buy some because I use skincare products, and I should have, this was scheduled, through that lady, Marissa, and so I haven't had a chance to try it, but I definitely use men's skincare product, and this is what we're promoting today is the Crete.club, and give it a shot.
It takes 30 seconds or less, and you'll just look better. Who doesn't want to look better? 30 seconds.
Look better. You expect your girl to look better. You need to look better also. So, do what you expect others to do or whatever.
All right.
Well, thank you, Jake, for coming on. I really appreciate the conversation. I think you have my email. If you ever, want to do a collaboration, we've done collaboration things because we're both men's products and audiences. Send me some more info on it and let's talk again, Right on.
Audience.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Thank you again. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.